Hello, you lovely listeners out there. This is your quintessentially British co-host, Jackie Downing, with another dash of the Talk Commerce podcast. The perfect accompaniment to your cup of tea and a scone, or perhaps your full English breakfast, depending on the time of day, of course. Our host, Brent Peterson, is once again prepared to peel back the curtain on the ever-evolving world of commerce. Now, Brent may not be as sharp as a Sheffield knife or as bright as a Whitby jet, but don't let that fool you. The man has a knack for cutting through the commerce clamour and illuminating the industry's intricate nuances in a way that even His Majesty would appreciate. Today, we're joined by the unstoppable Stephanie Bateman. Stephanie's as cool as a cucumber sandwich and as sharp as a good Stilton. She's bringing her business acumen to our humble show today, sharing her wisdom on Gorgias. And no, not the ancient Greek philosopher, but the modern-day customer service marvel for e-commerce. The lady's got an annual client churn rate lower than the temperature on a cold day in Newcastle. And if you think your life's complicated, just wait until you hear about her handling complex sales cycles that are longer than a cricket test match. So, stick around for a natter that's sure to be as enlightening as it is entertaining. Pop your kettle on, settle in, and let's get ready to talk commerce. But first, a word from our sponsors. Toodaloo for now.
Great news for the Magento community. Hoofa is now fully supported by Amnesty, the #1 Magento extension provider. With a catalog of over 250 Magento products and solutions and a full range of custom development services, Amnesty actively invests in providing compatibility with the Hoofa theme. 33 solution compatibilities have already been released and are available as part of the regular product subscription with no extra charge. And many more new compatibilities are coming. In partnership with Hoofa, Amnesty is focused on providing its clients with high-quality extensions, great performance, and a high level of service. Visit amnesty.com for more details. That's AMASTY.com. And remember to tell them Talk Commerce sent you. Have you heard of the Hoofa theme for Magento? It is a powerful yet intuitive theme that has been designed to help Magento store owners create the perfect online store. With the Hoofa theme, you can create a store that is unique and engaging while taking advantage of the latest technology that will make your site blazing fast. The theme is built with a modern, responsive design that is optimized for maximum performance and usability. You can easily achieve Google Lighthouse scores of 10. It is also fully customizable, allowing you to adjust its look and feel to fit your brand. Overall, the Hoofa theme is the best choice for any Magento site. It is easy to set up and customize, and it provides powerful features to help you create a successful online store. Plus, it is designed to work seamlessly with your existing Magento store, so you can take advantage of its powerful features and tools. With the Hoofa theme, you can create a beautiful, engaging, and successful Magento site. Go to hyva.io to learn more. That's hyva.io, and tell them that Talk Commerce sent you. My name is Brent Peterson, and I'm your host. Please remember to subscribe wherever you download your podcasts. Welcome to this episode of Talk Commerce. Today I have Stephanie Bateman. Stephanie's with Gorgias. Stephanie, go ahead, introduce yourself. Tell us your day-to-day role and maybe one of your passions in life.
I'm very excited to be here. I am Stephanie Bateman. I'm from Gorgias. I'm a strategic partner manager at Gorgias. I'm very excited to be here. As far as passions in life, I'm an avid reader. I love all kinds of books. I also love e-commerce, and I'm happy to talk about it all day, but my true passion is reading, so I'm always open to suggestions for good books.
All right, Haruki Murakami, The Wind-Up Bird Chronicle.
All right.
I just got done reading it. He's a Japanese writer, but he's very entertaining. Anyways, that's my one book input for the day.
I appreciate it. Now I have one new one for the bookshelf.
Perfect. Stephanie, I know that you also volunteered to participate in the Free Joke Project, and I'm just going to tell you a joke, and you're going to tell me if that joke should remain free or if you think we should charge for that joke in the future. Okay. Here we go. A truck loaded with Vicks VapoRub overturned on the highway. Amazingly, there was no congestion for 8 hours.
I love that one. I think you got to charge for that. I love a good pun. I think it's great.
All right, perfect. Thank you. So today we are going to we're going to talk about Gorgias, and I think it's a gorgeous solution for everybody's website. And it is around chat, but there's so much more to it. Can you just give us a little bit of background on what Gorgias does for customers and some of the highlights?
Absolutely. And we get that question a lot about, are we a chatbot? The answer to that is yes, but Gorgias is so many more things. So we're an omni-channel help desk. So any way that a customer wants to reach you, whether it's email, phone, SMS, social media comments, DMs, actually comments on social media ads, we bring it all into Gorgias. Live chat too as well, but basically we bring everything into one place, making it really easy for not only customer support teams, but marketing teams to respond to those tickets. We have great integrations with the big e-commerce platforms, Shopify, BigCommerce, Magento. And so you can actually see not just that order that they're asking about, but any order they've ever placed, historical information. So you really have context for who this customer is and knowing who they are and being able to have kind of that 360 view of the customer.
I know one of the things that you talk about at Gorgias is about more around how the customer's experiencing your website. Can you just talk a little bit about how it enhances that customer experience as you're browsing through a website?
Yeah, I can think of a bunch of ways, but I think there's two that stick out. I think people have this negative perception of customer service and that that's just where people want to yell and complain. And people do have issues and questions and they reach out. But something that Gorgias offers is really those pre-sale opportunities. We consider pre-sales a customer who's never purchased or has not made a purchase in the last 30 days. So if they're trying to have a great experience on your website, but maybe they can't figure out your sizing or they're not sure if they're buying makeup online, I have a hard time doing that, finding the right product. So actually being proactive and using our chat to help give them an experience and convert them to a sale. I think another thing that you mentioned about that experience, being able to use the feedback that we get in Gorgias. If people are constantly asking the same question or something is not clear, maybe they're always returning a certain item because the sizing is incorrect. You actually can use that as feedback to improve your business and the overall experience.
Talk a little bit about creating campaigns around the chatting service.
Absolutely. We do have the ability now to put our frequently asked questions and start initiating returns through the chat. So that frees up capacity for customer service teams. But as far as these campaigns, we have an example with a cosmetic brand where it did really well because you can set the parameters for where on the website and how long before this chat campaign pops up. In this specific example, when it was for lipstick. And when customers were lingering on the PDP for too long, they found that it was likely because they had no idea what color to buy. I have a very unique hair color skin tone combination, so I find it difficult. So we found that after about 30 seconds, if they're not performing any action, they're not changing pages, that means they're really trying to decide. So a chat would pop up and it would be almost like live shopping. They would say, tell me more about your skin type, tone, texture. And so we saw a huge increase in conversion because people knew what product to buy.
Yeah, that's interesting. That's such a good way to look at it, especially if somebody's lingering on a page. I know I've used tools like Hotjar that show what people are doing. And I think that a lot of merchants overlook the fact that people are on the website and they're contemplating things, and that little nudge helps to make that conversion. I know that it's so much more than just a chat. Tell us how it kind of intermixes with marketing and customer service, and obviously then how that gives a better return.
Absolutely. So, chat is just one of those many channels and those chat campaigns that we can use to improve the customer service and experience. But you already mentioned, it's great for marketing teams as well. We have a machine learning that actually can detect the sentiment of a message. So someone leaves a very positive sentiment on social media. Hey, I love this product. We can set up a rule to pick that up because maybe there's an intent to purchase. We can also pick up the intent if there's a question on social. Maybe someone says, hey, I love this, but I don't know what size is right for me. Or if they ship to my country. We don't want to lose out on those opportunities because brands can be getting thousands of comments on social. So our machine learning can really detect who has an intent to purchase, so you can answer them, and where the positive sentiments are, and obviously those negative sentiments too, so they can be handled appropriately.
I want to just key in what you said about social and putting comments on social, because a lot of brands overlook the fact that they have a social channel, but oftentimes they see it as one way, and they don't respond to customers that are asking them questions on social, or they don't have anybody that's there to respond. A lot of the bigger companies are better at it, but then I can also think of a couple of big companies that aren't doing it all, where I've sent out a message that said, hey, this is the worst experience in my entire life, and they never got back to me. So I think maybe just dive into how Gorgias takes all of those channels and puts them into a place where somebody can see them.
Absolutely. Within Gorgias, we have the ability to create different views. Those views can be anything by ticket status, whether that's open, closed, snooze, or channel type. Maybe you only want to look at email tickets. But to that point, we can create rules and views so that if you're just looking for, if it's just picking up negative comments, it will tag them as such, put them in that view so teams know to respond to those quickly. I know as a consumer myself, if I see lots of unanswered negative comments, I'm maybe a little less likely to purchase from that brand. But alternatively, if I really love a product, but I just don't know and don't have that guidance, and I ask the question, if they answer it quickly, I'm a lot more likely to buy. I think it's something like the conversion rate on answering those social questions is over 30%. So by not answering them, you could be missing out on a lot of sales.
I know that there's lots of different options for clients to look at, and hopefully there's a lot of e-commerce businesses that are assessing what sort of chat service they should put onto their website. Hopefully they're putting a chat service on their website, but they're assessing what sort of service. How would you say Gorgias is different from some of the competitors out there?
I'd say the number one is that we are made for e-commerce. We are the help desk for e-commerce. If you're an e-commerce business, Gorgias is made for you. And we really have the deepest integrations with those platforms I mentioned. We really like to eliminate the back and forth for teams, going to look at their store and then going to Instagram and copying and pasting answers. So just really making it as efficient as possible, but also being built specifically for e-commerce so that we have all those variables and that rich e-commerce data that makes the experience so seamless.
You don't have to name any names, but do you have some success stories that you can talk about on how adding the Gorgias live chat has changed the way the customer does business and added success to their business?
Yes, I won't name a name, but I can if people have more questions. Something that comes to mind, I should have mentioned before, the other nice thing about Gorgias is there are so many e-commerce apps in the ecosystem, right? Loyalty programs, subscriptions, email marketing. We have integrations with all of them. So you can actually see that information in Gorgias as well. What's the status of their subscription? When's the next date? Is it paused? How many loyalty points they have? So that's really unique as well. No, that doesn't need to be built out. You just sign in and it's turned on. But that said, I think to answer your question, a great example is a merchant that we work with. They were interested in launching a new flavor for the products that they sell. And they actually used Gorgias to source, this was the most requested flavor. And they got that data from Gorgias. But then they were working with an SMS marketing tool. They launched this product, and everyone who had requested it, they reached back out to them when it was available, and they sold $30,000 worth of it in the first 30 minutes of that release. So a really, I think, great example of using the feedback that you get from your customers to have them return.
So maybe talk a little bit about what are the other features that are provided other than just the chat.
Yeah, of course. Like you said, you can answer in any channel, and we have what we call macros. So those are canned responses, if you will, because if people are asking a similar question over and over, it's not a great use of Teams' time to type out the answer or copy and paste. So you can actually just create that macro that's specific to your business. We do have a library of the most commonly used ones, but they're customizable. And like I said, it can pull in those variables. It can pull in the shipping address information so someone doesn't have to go back to the store, look up the order, look up their shipping address. It can be pulled in. Same with rules. Rules can create actions. So we can create we call it the Wizmo rule, because something like 40% of all customer service tickets are people asking, where is my order? So creating rules, the example of how that rule works is that if someone says, where is my order, or any variation of that question, it will pull in the macro we've created, and it will pull in their specific data with the status, and it will actually reply to them and close the ticket. So no human being has to spend any time on that, which is great because it frees teams up to answer those questions and conversations that require a lot more personalization.
You mentioned machine learning a little bit earlier. Talk a little bit about how machine learning is helping to make merchants' lives easier, but then maybe let's also talk about how there always has to be a person there at the end of the day.
Yes. So the machine learning, I think, to your point, it's making it easier because it enables teams to know what comments require a response. Because if they have the positive sentiment, maybe they're a VIP customer, and you can set parameters. But if they're commenting, you want to respond to them because you know that they're coming back. But if it's just a comment that doesn't require a response, that helps teams because they're not sifting through every comment. So it really enables teams to know what comments to focus on, whether they be negative, positive, or a social question.
From the machine learning standpoint, then, will it generate responses, or are some of those just curated responses that are generated?
So that is something we could create those macros for negative comments. You also have the ability to reply on the platform where the comment was posted. For the sake of example, if someone leaves an Instagram comment without leaving Gorgias, you can reply to that comment in Instagram, also, or in a DM if you want to take that conversation privately. But yes, we can definitely create kind of canned responses, but sometimes some of those really positive or negative comments are those ones that require that personalization, but it absolutely can be automated.
If you had some sort of nugget you could tell a new client or somebody that's online that doesn't have chat, what is it, the top reason why they should be adding in a chat service?
I will tell you, in my experience as a customer myself and just the trends we see, people want things and they want it now. I don't know if I'm allowed to mention one of the big websites out there. They have now made the expectation that if you have a question, you will get an answer. And if you order something, it will be at your front door very quickly. So people have become impatient in the sense, no disrespect, but they've become accustomed to the level of service of you get things right away. So the ability to answer them while they're on the website, while you have them, is a lot more likely to convert them to a sale, because if they have that question and they can't figure it out, they might go to your competitor. So really speed is very important.
Yeah, and I'm just going to point out that there are still customers out there with a chat service that don't have a person there, and then you hit the send an email, and then I've never gotten a response. I can say there's probably nothing more frustrating than to hit that little box and they'll say somebody will get back to you within 24 hours, and then nobody ever gets back to you. Like, why even have the service on your website if you're not going to use it, right?
Absolutely. And we are aware that some teams, they don't have the capacity to be at the live chat for 24 hours. So we have a lot of functionality around creating like hours of availability. That chat will not pop up if there's not a person who is there to answer, because like you said, that's a very frustrating experience. So there are a lot of rules we can turn on, except working hours, to make sure that no one has that frustrating experience.
Stephanie, as we finish out our podcast, I give everybody a chance to do a shameless plug. What would you like to plug today?
Shameless plug. I as I mentioned before, Gorgias really is, if you have an e-commerce business, also if you sell in store, but if you're selling online, we're definitely the right help desk for you. We're number one on some platforms at this point, and we play really nice with all the other apps in the ecosystem. I will also happily give 2 months free to anyone who comes our way after listening to this podcast. But yeah, I think definitely give it a try. You're probably missing out on pre-sale questions and comments, and we can convert your customer service team into a revenue source.
Awesome. Stephanie Bateman, thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for making it to the end of this episode of Talk Commerce. Please rate this episode wherever you download your podcasts. We are actively looking for people to participate in the Free Joke Project. Go to talk-commerce.com and sign up for your free spot on the Free Joke Project. If you are a business, I will do a 30-second elevator pitch in the spot to help promote your business. That's talk-commerce.com.